Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we've got a great one for you today. We're working with Divi 5 here, and we've got this little product carousel. As you can see, it's got the slides revolving around there. The one in the middle's bigger than the other ones. If I put my cursor on it, it's going to stop. They can roll over it, take a look at the picture, read the title, price, check out the options and buy it if they want to. When we've done this sort of thing previously, it's usually involved a plugin. Not so with Divi 5. You can build this with all the inbuilt features that they've now got. And I'll show you exactly how. I've got this page open already here. There's a carousel I created, as you saw. Let's just delete this row and we'll start from scratch. So we've got a section, the blue tab. I'm going to add a row, the green tab. In mine, I'm going to use a single flex column. I'm going to use the Group Carousel, funnily enough. Right now, Divi 5's in the beta version, so it's getting closer to release. The last time we did this, it was in the alpha stage, and there was a little bug. You couldn't actually add anything without making it outside of the carousel, copying it and pasting it inside. They fixed that. We just need to click on the little dot, add new group or row. I'm just going to add a simple module. I'm going to use a call to action for mine today. And a call to action is right here. Great. So we've got our first slide. Perfect. What we're actually going to do is use this call to action. The product featured image, such as we've got down here, is going to be the background. Title will be the product title. And where the content is, I'm not going to use product content. I'm actually just going to use the price there. And then we'll have a call to action button to take you to the product options. So how are we going to do that? Well, now that we've got our call to action module in there, let's go back into our group carousel. Here's the slide that we created. That's what we're going to loop. I'm going to go into the carousel slide. I'm going to go down to loop. I'm going to switch loop element to on. Fantastic. What do I want to display? Not posts. I want to display certain products. So I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to left click on it. I'm going to roll down past projects to products. What products? Well, let's put in the products we want. By choosing the categories here, let's throw in dresses, shirts, shoes, maybe one more, pants. Decide how many we want down here. Now you can exclude certain posts, or you can just include the products that you want. Now every time it says posts here, it is actually a product. Don't want to add a meta query, and we don't need to order them in a specific way. I'm happy with the way they're going to roll up. So let's say that should be allowed at least 18 products. So I'm going to try 18. And you can see the pagination dots have grown to 18, hopefully. I'm not going to count them, but I'm sure that's what it is there. Now let's make these slides the way we want them. Now that we've got it looped, if we go into our call to action now, we can pull in the info that we want for each slide. If we go into the text, I'm under content in the call to action. I'm going to go over to the dynamic content icon over here for the title. I want to put in product title. I'm going to apply that. No, you can't see a button at the moment. That'll turn up when we actually put the link in. I'm going to have mine say options or buy now, whatever you want. And then content, instead of content, I'm actually going to have the product price. So where it says content there, again, I'm going to roll over, hit the little icon. Product regular price down below there. We need to hit apply. If we roll down now to link, this is when the button's going to show up. Where it says button link, again, I'm going to go to the dynamic icon here. Loop product link. Perfect. As you can see, there's that button. Let me go back up to the content there a minute because I want to put a $sign in front of that. So let's apply what we've got here. That was in our text and our content right here. So if I click on it, variable settings, are the settings we put in. Where it says before here, we can put something before it. I'm going to put the $sign in. As you can see, it's popped it in there, and we'll customize this, make it bigger in a moment. Let's reapply that. Now that we've got that, we can go down to our background. Let's put that image in. Now, obviously, we want the featured image for each product. So let's go to the third tab, images. Where it says background image, I'm going to roll over the little icon. Loop product featured image. Perfect. Now it's kind of shaping up like I want it, but we want to see all of that image, and I really wanted 3 slides going on at a time here, with the middle one larger than the others. So let's apply what we've got going on here. Let's go back into our group carousel. We can go to carousel settings. Now roll down a bit, slides to show. Let's up that to 3. Perfect. And when it rolls around, how many do we want it to roll? Well, I only really want it to roll 1 at a time, but you could have all 3 roll by just setting that. Now, what about tablet and mobile? We'll look at those in a moment. Let's actually get these looking more like we want them. So to do that, again, we can just go into the call to action. It doesn't matter which one you go into. It's going to do all of them by just clicking on it. Call to action. I want to see more of the image. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over to my design here. I'm going to go down to my spacing. I'm going to put a bit more padding on the top. They're using pixels here. Let's use a percentage perhaps. Let's try 6, 0 and the percent sign. Or you can just select percent on the end there if you want to. That's a bit more like it. I think that's going to work. Now we need to adjust the text and button so we can see it a little bit better. So let's go into our title text. It's an H2, that's fine. I've capitalized it. I'm going to make it perhaps bold. I'm going to give it a little box shadow behind it, or text shadow I should say. Obviously you can change the color here if you want to. Let's do that. I've got a crazy pink color I've been using. Let's use that. And obviously just paste your color in there. Now we'll take it up just a little bit in size and give it a bit of text shadow. Let's use this one. That helps it stand out a little bit. Now we're going to the price. The price, remember, was our content text down below. Body text, that we can go in there. I think the color's okay, but we need to make it a lot bigger. Maybe 40 pixels perhaps. And again, well, it may be a little bit too much. Let's make that 30. We're going to make it bold. And we'll use that same text shadow on it. And for the button, if we roll down a little bit more, here's our button. I think I made it that same crazy pink. I'm going to hit the little button up for custom styles. Button background. There's that crazy pink. I don't think I want a border. So if we go into border, roll down, here we are. Take that down to 0. Perfect. Button text is okay. I think I'll capitalize it. Let me take it down a little bit in size. Great. Well, that's shaping up. I'm going to close out our button here. I'm actually going to go up to the top to the text now. I'm going to align everything. If you want to put it on the left, you can put it on the left like that. If you want to put it on the right, obviously do it that way around. I think I have mine over to the right hand side. I think I'm going to go back into that title text and put it back to all white. Okay, now I want our ones on the side to be black and white and the one in the middle to be larger. So if we go back into our group carousel, if I go into content, carousel settings, I'm going to use center mode, which makes sure there's always one in the middle. I mean, there will be anyway because I've got 3, but perhaps you've got a different amount. Now I'm going to go back to the design. Now I've done that, the one that's in the middle is the active group. So if we go into the active group here, I'm going to go down to transform, put it up to whatever size you want it. A little bit too big. I want about 1/4. You can fine tune with the little arrows right here. 125%. It's going to do me, I think. Perfect. Now the ones either side, we're going to make those black and white. So if this is the active group, the other one's just a regular group. So if we go in there, I'm going to go down to the filters this time. I'm going to take the saturation all the way down to 0. And it looks like they're all going black and white there. I think I'm going to lose our pagination dots there. They were handy to let us know how many slides. They are being covered up a little bit by that slide now. I made it bigger as well. So we can do that. Group carousel content in the elements. Show dot nav. I'm going to turn that off. I'll leave our little arrows either side here. Of course, you can style those how you wish. If we go back up to our carousel settings, we can turn on our automatic rotation. Just hit this little button. Choose how long. I want mine to be about 4 seconds or 4,000 milliseconds. It's going to work for me. I do want it to pause on hover. Transition speed's fine. Well, let's slow that down a bit for a bit of grace to 5,000 milliseconds or half a second. I'm a little concerned about this one. Let's go back into our active slide and make sure it's going to be colored. Remember, we're in the Group Carousel Design Active Group. Let's go down to the filters in this and make sure the filters are back to 100% on the saturation there. There we go. Let's bring that color back. Perfect. And if we've done everything correctly now, we should be good to go. Of course, if you wanted to make this full width, just make the row full width. I don't think I do on this, but just to show you how it's done, go into your row, design, sizing, width, type in 100 there. Max width below, type in 100 and select the percentage over here. It's important you do that. And you've got a full width one. You could give it some padding either side if you needed to. Let's just take that back. The only other thing we need to do is check it on tablet and mobile. I think 3 will probably work on tablet, but probably want less on mobile. So let's flip it to tablet mode. Think so. Could take that title text down a little bit. And on phone, yeah, that's not going to work at all. On phone, we could take it down. Let's go into the actual carousel itself. Group Carousel. Content. Carousel settings. Number of columns or number of slides to show. On mobile, to try to, might want to take it down to a single. That will actually work. Obviously, you want to go into the call to action just by clicking on it. Take that title text down. On mobile, take it down to 20 and see what happens. Yeah, that'll work fine. So we've got that on mobile, that on tablet, and this on desktop. A couple of these are still a little hard to read. What we could do with our call to action, we could put a gradient over the top of that image just on the bottom bit that would make it easier to read that on the white backgrounds there. Just an option. So again, in the call to action, content, background. Let's change this color out. We'll get rid of it completely. We'll use a gradient. Going to add a background gradient. Chucks in one blue and green anyway. It's just left click on the blue. I'm going to take the opacity all the way down. Now I know you can't see it because it's actually behind our image there. I roll down here. Place gradient above background image. You'll see that green pop in. That's not what we want. I just want it to be a bit darker on the bottom half than the bottom. So that green, I'm going to click on it. I'm going to make it a black. I think the opacity I'm going to take down just a little bit. I want it to be just something like that. Now to make it more light at the top than the bottom, I'm going to grab our top one here. I'm going to drag it. As I'm dragging it, you'll see it lighten up the top half there, and just take it down to where you want it. And just above the writing there, it's going to work for me. But obviously, style yours to taste. It's just going to make it a little more legible. Let's resave. We'll get rid of our previews here and we'll re-preview. And there we have it. It should start rolling every 4 seconds. Perfect. I think you can read those titles and prices a little bit better with that gradient over the back there. Ones on the left and right, as you can see, are black and white. One in the middle is a lot larger. And of course, when we put our mouse over it, it's going to stop. And of course, when they click on it, it'll take them to the product. Take your mouse off. 4 seconds later, it'll start rolling again. And of course, you've got your arrows here, so you can go backwards or forwards, however much you want. Really nice little feature that they've added here. So there we have it, guys. Here's a little 3D type product slider you can add to any Divi site that's got some WooCommerce modules on it using the fantastic new Divi 5 theme. I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget, if you've got any questions either about Divi 4 or Divi 5, put them down below. I'll do my best to answer them for you if I can. So once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.